Today we're diving into a story, well, it's incredible, truly inspiring. The story of Samuel Morris.
And I'm so fascinated about Samuel Morris's story.
hmm
It flips the whole, traditional missionary thing right on its head.
It's a deep dive for sure. That's what you asked for. Okay, so imagine, right, a missionary journey. But instead of going west, like you usually hear about, this is about a man traveling from Africa to America to
Yeah.
share his faith.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About what missionary work really means, the impact, just one person.
We're looking at a blog post, Samuel Morris, From African Captive to American Missionary. It's from September 23rd of this year, and let me tell you, it is not your average story.
Not at all. Samuel's story starts in 1872 in Liberia. Now, he wasn't Samuel back then, no. He was born with the name Kaboo. And his early life, unimaginable hardship, tribal life, challenges, we can't even fathom it.
Paint a picture for us. What was young Kaboo's life like back then?
Imagine, okay, you're a young boy taken hostage, another tribe, rivals, brutal,
Yeah.
fear every single day. And during one of these beatings, he's tied to a cross, near death, something extraordinary.
This is where it takes that almost unbelievable turn,
No,
right?
absolutely. Blinding light, the ropes, they just fall away. And then a voice urging him to escape.
This isn't just, dramatic escape stuff. This is a huge moment spiritually. This changes everything for Samuel. But it makes you wonder, how did this change how he saw the world?
It's almost impossible to really get it. It
Yeah.
wasn't just his life was saved. It set him on his whole spiritual path.
And then it gets even more interesting because soon after this, he encounters Christianity.
It's incredible, that sharp turn, death, and then this new faith, the thing that would define him. And it's reflected so powerfully in the name change.
Kaboo to Samuel Morris. It's not just a name, it's a whole inner transformation out in the open.
Exactly. Imagine this new faith so moving, you become someone new. A rebirth symbolized by a name.
You think about the commitment. What must people have thought meeting him after all this?
You can only imagine, but it speaks volumes about his faith, don't you
Well,
think?
no doubt. Okay, so picture it. Africa, his whole world. And he decides America, a place he's never even seen. Talk about courage.
The determination, right. First, even getting to the coast, from inland Liberia. Then getting on a ship to a whole other world. Just stories to him.
Amazing. And the blog mentions the captain at first wouldn't even let him on board. Can you believe that?
You're telling me. But that's Samuel, shining through. Even with resistance, his faith, it touched the crew. By New York, many converted, even the captain himself, to Christianity.
What an impact. So he's in America now, totally different from anything he knew.
And wouldn't you know it, his journey takes him to a small university in Indiana, Taylor University.
Taylor University, of all places. It makes you wonder how he ended up there.
Well, the Post mentions he met a minister, Stephen Merritt, back in New York. Merritt, he saw something in Samuel, encouraged him, go to Taylor, study.
Makes sense, someone like Merritt seeing that potential. But what was it about Taylor that made Samuel's story, well, have such an impact there?
Well, the Post mentions this spiritual awakening at Taylor, during Samuel's time.
Right, a revival. But what did that actually look like? Specific events or changes because of Samuel?
It doesn't, get into specifics, but it does say that Samuel's own faith, it really resonated within Taylor, the whole community.
You can imagine, right? New world. Must have been intimidating. But his faith wasn't like big gestures or those fiery sermons.
Exactly. It was quieter,
Yeah.
rooted in experience, being genuine.
Not preaching it to people, but living it, letting that light, well, shine. It makes you think, authenticity, how powerful is that? Ever notice someone's truly genuine, it hits different.
Absolutely. And that's why Samuel's impact lasted. He shared, but with humility, honesty. It moved people in a way sermons often don't.
Makes you think, maybe that's the lesson. Sometimes just being real, sharing our own stuff, that's how you connect. Sadly, though, his time at Taylor, in America, really, it got cut short. The Post mentions the Indiana climate. It really hit his health hard.
Heartbreaking,
Yeah.
after everything. 5 years in America, that's all he had.
Imagine facing that after all he went through. But even then, sick, the Post says, his faith never wavered. He kept praying for healing.
That's belief, unwavering. Even when things are bad, faith, that strength, that resilience, it's powerful.
It shows you every life, short or long, can leave a mark, a legacy.
And his goes way beyond those 5 years. Think about it. Students, inspired by him, they became missionaries themselves. Taylor, it thrived, donations in his name.
Like ripples outwards, touching lives, people he never met.
It's beautiful, isn't it? One person, a chain reaction, inspiration, change, echoing, even generations later.
Makes you think, what kind of legacy do WE want? Not, famous stuff, but kindness, courage, faith, those everyday things.
It's a powerful thought, right? That
Mhm.
even after the impact, our actions, our faith, it keeps inspiring, transforming others long after we're gone.
It really makes you think, doesn't it, about how these small acts of faith, these moments of courage, they can have such a lasting impact.
It really does. It's like you don't have to, go out there trying to change the world. Just be authentic, live your truth, and that in itself can make a difference.
It's a good point. And Samuel's story, it highlights something else, something really important. The universality of faith. I mean, think about it. Here's a man, crosses continents, faces unimaginable challenges, cultural barriers, everything. And yet his message of faith, it still resonates with the people he meets.
It's true. It makes you realize those core tenets, right? Faith, hope, resilience, those transcend cultures. They transcend geography. They speak to something deeper, a fundamental human experience, regardless of background.
Exactly. Even with our differences, there's this shared human experience that unites us. So as we, unpack Samuel Morris's journey, this captive who became a missionary, what's the biggest takeaway for you?
I think for me, it's the reminder that one person's faith, when it's lived authentically, can have this ripple effect. It goes way beyond their own time and place. Samuel's belief, his impact on everyone around him, the way he connected with people from totally different walks of life. It shows the power of a life lived with purpose, with conviction.
Samuel's story, it reminds us we all have that potential to leave a legacy of faith and courage, one that can inspire people for generations. And for you, listening, we'll leave you with this. How can Samuel's incredible journey inspire you to face your own challenges with that same faith and resilience? What lessons can you take from his life to make a difference in your own world?